In this episode of Off Duty Grind, we have Jayden Newton, a chief in the U.S. Navy and the owner of King Carter Customs, where he creates customized shoes and apparel for all ages. How you doing, Jayden?
Good, man. How about yourself?
Say living the life. Good.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I got a little icebreaker for you. So what's the biggest animal you could knock out with one punch?
I'm gonna say a bird, man. I don't want no jungle animal. Leave me up out of that. Closest I'm gonna get to is a bird. Yeah. It's gonna have to be like a little Tweety bird. I don't want no swans, no ducks.
I was thinking about that too. I was like,
I've been in too many countries while I was seeing people get attacked.
I was thinking the squirrel. Like, man, I can knock out a squirrel.
Hey, listen, maybe not even the cat, man. They got nails. I don't mess around with wildlife. I keep it simple. Maybe a hamster or something. Somebody
can't get you. Yeah, them cats be aggressive, man.
No.
So tell me a little bit about yourself and your time in the military.
Well, I was born in Toledo, Ohio. I grew up in Atlanta, though. I moved there when I was about 8 years old. I joined the Navy fresh out of high school, 18, like a month after I graduated high school. Originally joined just to get out of my hometown. Like Toledo and Atlanta are very alike in a lot of ways with, gangs and drugs and stuff like that. So I wanted to get out of my environment and do something different. I thought I was going to do 4 years, and 14 years later, still rocking.
Yeah, the same way for me. Like, I was coming to do 4 and done, and then re-enlisted, got to 6. Now I'm at 18.
I'm right behind you.
Yeah, man.
I'll be 14 next month, and it's like, man, what happened to my 4-year plan?
Hey, but you doing your thing though, right?
Yeah, I can't explain. It's been an up-down roller coaster, good and bad, but you roll with the punches, you keep moving.
Yeah. So you say the reason you joined, like, just to get out your environment, like, just change things up.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I think most of us had the dream of going to college, but I mean, I messed around in high school and stuff like that. I was the average student. I played ball and stuff, so it was like B, few A's here and there, a C, and I was an average kid. So my dad wasn't trying to pay for me to go to no 4-year university. He was like, "You go to University of Toledo." I was like, "Nah,
he said,
I'm good on that. I'm good about it." He wanted to keep a close eye on me, so I was like, "All right, well, I'm out of here." And my first duty station was Hawaii, so I got way away from where I grew up at. Yeah, from there, went to Florida. Spent about 4 years out in Jacksonville, and then recruiting out in Northern California, and then back out here to Hawaii. So
how's that recruiting job? I heard you learned a lot about like sales and all that stuff in there. It's like a big sales school.
Yeah, it actually helped me with what I do now. I've always been a social person, but it helps you kind of get out of your comfort zone and just approach people. I was in Napa, California. I don't know if you know much about wine.
No.
It's wine country. I put it like that. A bunch of rich kids, they own winery. So
Napa Valley, Napa Valley. Okay, I heard about it. Yeah.
Okay. I was there in Vallejo, so it was like rich kids and like the hood. So you kind of had to get in where you fit in, but being around so many different walks of life, and it's a huge Filipino community and stuff out there. You get Mexicans, blacks, whatever. So it was like kind of a melting pot of everybody. But you had to learn how to adapt to different people and figure out what their needs was. So it's helped me in business now, I say.
Yeah. Do you consider yourself a sneakerhead?
Absolutely, man.
Huh?
Since birth. I got baby pictures of every J you think of. Man, my dad was a big sneakerhead. So my uncle, once my dad stopped buying sneakers, me and my uncle would sit at the stores and all that. And it's, my wife is a sneakerhead, so I was born into it.
You born into it? Oh man. So like, if you had to give away all your shoes except for one pair, which ones would you keep and why?
This is gonna be an unpopular opinion, but I'm gonna say a pair of Coke White Air Force Ones. Only because if I had to give away everything, you can always get a pair of Air Force Ones. And being a customizer, I can make them anything I want to. So
true. Yeah.
It can be a different shoe, every couple of weeks if I want it to be. So if I had to give away everything else, just keep a pair of blank canvas.
Yeah, got the blank canvas. Yeah. I would say. Yep. So what inspired you to begin customizing shoes and apparel?
Really being a sneakerhead, man. Like when I was recruiting, I had not a lot of off time, but when you meet your quota, you able to kind of do what you want to do, and being in such a small office is not like being on the ship where you got like 100 people to go hang out with. It's you and 4 guys that you work with. So
true.
Having a lot of downtime and stuff, it really kind of just started out of like boredom and just like wanting to see if I can just create my own thing. And I mean, I thought I was doing something 5 years ago, and looking back now, I'm like, this is trash. This is horrible. I can fix this. But it was a way for me just to have like some like creative time and like a long time and just sit down. Like I would lose track of pain and, turn on some music and stuff and just, try to see if I could create something cool out of it. And it kind of accidentally in a way turned into a business.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was. You wear something, somebody asks where you got it from. It's like, no, I did this. And so, then, a sister be like, oh, can you do this for me? And then that turns into a friend hitting me up, and it kind of just grew from there. Really, I would say,
like a snowball.
Yeah, without it ever, I never looked at it like, oh, I'm gonna make this into a business. It started out of a hobby just for myself.
Oh, okay.
And it just kind of went from there. I was just making shoes for me, my wife, and my son at the time.
Oh, okay.
And, a couple of people like, hey, can you do this? Can you do this? Can you do this? And it was like, well, I might as well,
yeah,
make money. So, let's do it. And now, 5 years later, here I am, like, my own business.
Oh, sweet. So like, were you always an artist, or did you just get into artistry as like a hobby at that time?
Yes and no. Like, I wasn't always a drawer or a painter or anything. I actually did music. My dad was a DJ. So I was big into music. Like I would write and record and do shows and stuff like that. And I was like big into like dancing when I was a teenager. So art has always kind of been in me, but no, I was never like, I wasn't that person that was like, doodling in class or nothing like that. I don't even consider myself even an artist now. Like I'm still, learning like a lot, and it's hard. It's hard. I spend hours, like watching YouTube videos trying to learn how to perfect, different shadings and colors and circles and squares and different techniques. But having like the background of like, like creativity, it's not an easy transition, but it helps you like be more creative when you try to think of an idea of something to put down on a shoe or jeans or coveralls or whatever it is.
Yeah, I get you. Yeah, I was surprised. Like when you said you was into music, because I played drums and stuff like that, and I was playing at nights and stuff like that. But yeah. So like you told us already how you got your first customers, like word of mouth and stuff like that. But do you remember who they were? Like they friends or family?
Yeah, my first like paid custom that wasn't a family member was my boy Jack. He used to be an STG in the Navy. He had to do a pair of Ohio State Air Force Ones for him. Oh, okay. And that was like the first one that I kind of put out there, and then it went from there. One of my recurring customers is this barber who actually cuts hair out here. He's a Army, and he had me do a pair of Vans for him. Okay. I don't even remember what they were. It might have just been like a simple like splatter or something like that. And I've done like 10 pair for him now. Everything from he's a big Kansas City fan to Sesame Street. I'm actually working on a pair of Mortal Kombat Vans for him. Right. So he's been like my best and biggest supporter. But it kind of started off with like family, and then like I say, you kind of be your own billboard when you walk out of your own customs. People want to know where you got that from, or once you get over that, is that fake? And like, nah, it's painted. So
yeah, I was going to ask you like, what's your technique for designing? Is like you saying hand paint, is like cutouts and all that?
A little bit of everything, man. These right here is probably my biggest tools to airbrush and a detail brush. But I have a silhouette Cameo to where I can map off areas that are going to be like different characters and stuff like that. So I'm not having to go back and, acetone areas that got paint and stuff on it. But masking tape, airbrush, and detail brushes, the three items that are in heavy rotation in this room. Constant Amazon orders.
For people who don't know what the Cameo is, that's like the kind of like a Cricut. It's like it just cuts out the shapes and stuff like that. Things like it's like real detailed cuts and stuff that you can do with the.
Right. Like, and I use the most for making like t-shirts and stuff like that. If somebody wants like a vinyl t-shirt or something like that, it's easy just to put the iron on. You put it in the Cricut, get your design on, and literally design. So, but when I'm using it for shoes, it's more so a way just to mask off areas. So if I'm doing like different base colors and stuff like that, I don't put paint on an area that's going to end up being like a character or a name or something like that.
I get you. All right. So how do you continue to spread the word about your business?
Social media, which I'm the worst at, man. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I've never been like a big social media person, so having to I gotta definitely do a better job of keeping myself relevant in the social media world. With everything being so right now you have to stay relevant. And with what we do, being a chief and I'm married with 2 kids, sometimes it can be kind of hard to want to keep up, because if my wife is she want to spend some time and I'm looking through Instagram. She's like, hey, you're not working right now. So trying to keep up with social media and spreading the word through Facebook and Instagram, and trying to branch off to Etsy and different platforms like, the khakis and kicks and stuff like that, just to continue to try to market. And then just being out there with wearing my own customs and having, my wife and my 11-year-old son be, kind of like my walking billboard so that people will come, hey man, where'd you get those, to try to create more business. And, just talking to people like word of mouth. You walk into a sneaker store and, you're looking for a pair of shoes. It's easy now to be like, oh yeah, I'm looking for this because I'm working on this. And oh yeah, you do this. And you got another follower and it's another customer and stuff like that. So just trying to always remember like, hey, even when you out, you got to continue to market yourself. Every it don't matter if you out to dinner or you just casually shopping with the family or you at work, like you always got to kind of be like, putting your own shameless plug in so you can keep the flow going.
That consistency. Yeah. So like, what's the process for placing the order? Say I had some Vans that I wanted to get customized. How do I get you the Vans, or how would I place that order?
It's really up to the customer. There's 2 ways of doing it. I mean, obviously there's a mall everywhere. So I can always, go pick them up for you. Or you can send them, ship the shoe to me, like if it's like a special kind of shoe that you want done. So it's really up to that person. But usually what I do is most people contact me through either like email or right on my Instagram, and they'll talk about what shoe they want to do, and then we'll formulate a design. And then it's kind of like a contract that I printed up, like this is the design. This is the price, this is the turnaround time when it'll be done, just so, I kind of keep myself, protected, because it's people have a fear of getting scammed, especially when, because what I do is it's not a ready-made shoe. It's made to order. So once you order it, then I'm doing the work. It's not like I got, a closet full of, Jordan 4s in there just ready to be shipped. So, and that can be a little bit of a burden too. Is like, people are like, is this like a scam a little bit? Like, I don't know you don't know me. I'm not, a big customizer just yet. So trying to have that contract in place so that like it protects the customer and myself of not getting screwed out of a product.
Yeah, it's definitely important to protect yourself.
Man, absolutely. And protect, like I said, protect the customer. It allows them to feel more comfortable. Like this is a contract. You're agreeing to pay this amount of money for, this service. So.
Right. So what have been some of your biggest challenges?
I would say just sometimes the getting out of my own creativity head. When you're painting, sometimes you can overthink stuff and get frustrated if something's not maybe working out the way you want it, or you wanted it to look like this, and it's taking a little while, like, because painting can be very tedious, especially when you're working on, you know, very small details, like, you know, something there that you think will be simple and can take 6 hours to do, and trying to get out of my own way and just let the process, like, you know, trusting in yourself, like, you got this, just relax, chill out for a little bit, and, you know, it'll come out the way you want it to, if you just, you know, kind of just chill out. And then sometimes, you know, being on the island, shipping, man, is always like a big thing. It's not quick or cheap to ship from the island. Yeah. So, you know, unless they're a local customer where it's just, you know, kind of a hand-to-hand transaction, you know, you end up paying a little bit more for me to ship the shoe back to you. And, you know, the wait time, like, there ain't no such thing as Amazon Prime out here.
So you got to wait.
It's a week. It's 10 days. So having to order in supplies and stuff like that, you know, there's a delay sometimes. So I have to make sure that I you know, I'm upfront, like, hey, I am on the island. So my turnaround time may be, you know, 4 to 6 weeks because of getting the order out to you or waiting for something to get to me or run out of supplies. And that can be, you know, a bit of a challenge.
Yeah. The shipping. When you talk about that, we was talking about like being your own, like your biggest critic. I know a lot of artists, like you yourself are your biggest critic. You try to be like a perfectionist.
Yeah. I would say my wife is like the yin to my yang. Like, I'll come downstairs, like, she's like, what's wrong? I'm like, I'm annoyed. It's not coming out how I want to, you know, whatever. And just calm down, take a break for a second, like go watch TV for 30 minutes and then, you know, go back to it. And 9 times out of 10, it turns out exactly how I want it to. Or sometimes where, you know, you tweak the design, you know, just a little bit to, you know, get something going. But, you know, artists, your biggest critic, even when you finish something, you're like, man, I should have did this different. I should have did this. So, you know, kind of, I keep a notebook too of things that I would have done different or things I want to work on or, you know, stuff like that. And kind of just keep progressing it, you know, forward. Yeah. So that I don't get so frustrated when I'm, you know, painting and airbrushing and stuff.
Yeah, I get you. Totally get you. Have you ever done something in business that you said, like, I'll never do this again? Like, any mistakes you made? Like,
you know what? Yes and no. I remember when I first started customizing, I was under the impression that I was going to do a lot of Air Force Ones and Jordans, you know, and the first pair of Vans I did, it's a canvas, so it doesn't leave room for you to mess up. Once it's there, and I was like, yo, I will never customize another pair of Vans again. And it's one shoe that I do all the time now. Out of the, you know, like the 100 pair of shoes that I've done, 95 of them have been Vans.
Oh, you know, that's so all I wear.
The one thing that I said I would never do again is like the one thing that I'm constantly doing. You know, like show you right here, like I'm doing another pair of Vans, man. So most of the shoes I work on is Vans, and it's usually something that frustrated me the most, and I'm like, I don't want to do that again. And I just have to do, like, you know, painting jeans. It's not a flat surface, you know, there's ridges and stuff in there, and it's harder to paint a pair of jeans. And I'm like, I'm never doing another pair of jeans again. And I end up doing another pair of jeans again. So it's like never say never. It's just a frustration in the moment. But as far as business goes, the reason I implemented actually the contract now was because of one customer that I had. We had an agreement on a shoe that she wanted. She gave me creative control just to tweak it a little bit to make the shoe a one of one. And she was like, I hate the color. And I was like, okay, you know what? From now on, even if I have creative control, I got paid for it regardless. Like, you know, I didn't lose any money off of it. But, you know, as an artist, you want your customer to be satisfied. Right. So going into it before I lay a piece of paint down and having that, you know, this is what you agreed to. Even if you don't like it at the end, like, it's on you. You know, not on me. This is what you said you wanted. And just trying to get better at just the graphics portion of it that can be hard is trying to design the shoe on my iPad to show the customer, like, hey, this is what I'm doing along with that contract. So there is no, like, you know, hiccup at the end and be like, well, that's not what I asked for. You know? Yeah, right. I've only ever had it happen to me once, but when it happened, I was like, never again.
Never again.
it's been smooth sailing from there.
Okay. And you say the contract is like what fixed it?
Yeah, just going from there. This is what you want. This is what we're agreeing to. And the funny thing is that everyone else that seen that, she loved it. She was the only person that was like, I hate the color of it. And everybody else was like, what is she talking about? Like, this shit was dope. So it was easy to kind of let it go because it was like, I'm sending you the shoe regardless. But, you know, I've already been paying for it. You can burn it tomorrow. And, you know, it is what it is. But you do want your customers to feel satisfied in a product because, you know, even though it may not have been my idea, it's a part of me. You know, I'm the artist. I took my time to try to, you know, think outside the box and create something that you would think is dope. And you don't live, you know, in someone's head. So you try to do the best that you can because, you know, you want that customer satisfaction because, like, in the day, it's art. It's not like, you know, I would say like doing lashes or something like that. You want people to come back and appreciate the art for what it is, whether they put them on their feet and rock it or, you know, put them in their room and never wear it. You want them to be like, man, this is a dope pair that I got from, you know, Carter, and to be proud of the product that they paid for.
Oh yeah, I get you. So, what's it like running a business in the military?
It has its challenges. Sometimes, you know, like the dope thing about it is, you know, we meet hundreds of people every day. You know, one person leaves the ship and, you know, a new person comes. So you get a chance to formulate these relationships with you know, many different people in many different places. So, you know, you can have friends in Italy, you can have friends in Florida, in California. And so business wise, it allows for you, if you have, you know, a great support system, it allows for them to spread the word kind of for you just because they rock with you. Work can be, you know, what you put in it. Like we try to front load so we can, you know, get out of work early and you can, you know, get off and kind of do what you want to. Right. But the flip side to that is, you know, because the military demands so much and painting is a long process at times. Yeah. Other things can take a back seat. You know, like I got a 5-month-old and, you know, an 11-year-old and a wife. So I have to try to balance my time, you know, wisely. You know, on certain days where it's like, I can't do this today. You know, I gotta take care of them, you know, for a little bit. You know, you're getting ready to deploy and paint is hazmat. I can't take paint with me. So, you know, that leads to some months where I'm not doing customs and stuff like that, or going underway or, you know, I'm not on the ship right now, but, you know, being a ship super, you're always, you know, it's 24/7. If they call you, you gotta go. Right. You know, having that, you know, contractual obligation, like this takes first priority. Sometimes your business can take a small backseat, a little bit, but that would be like the biggest challenge is, you know, kind of just moving around and being at the mercy of the Navy. Sometimes when you're like, man, I really wish I could be on painting right now. I'm not trying to be down here fixing the engine. So you try to do the best you can, man. You front load your maintenance or you do A, B, and C, and it's like, hey, when you got Julie Shadow's like, I know y'all want to get up out of here, so let's get this stuff done so we can go. Yeah. I got stuff to do too. You know, like, y'all want to go out and do A, B, and C, so do I. So it's just trying to get everybody to understand, like, we all got things we want to do. So let's get this done because this is our, you know, our first priority is always mission first. And then we can go off and do, you know, the things that we want to.
Right. Yeah. I always ask that question on interviews because it's common with us in the military. Like today, I had a recall, so I had to, you know, you got to call everybody in your division. So you might have to go in and track some people down. It probably affected the interview. Or like you said, like when you're on the ship and you take a deployment, like I used to play drums, so I couldn't take my drums with me, you know, on the deployment or when I'm PCS. So you gotta pack it up. Yeah, but yeah, I can program them. But yeah, before I was like, you know, jumping on the set and doing recording and sending them to clients. But like you can't do that when you PCS and you got your stuff packed up. So yeah, that's like a common question.
Paint is hazmat. I can't take it on the ship. Can't take it. So it's a dead stop. You know, luckily I'm not on the ship right now, but my business comes to a dead stop, you know, in many ways. Like my wife can still do t-shirts and stuff like that. You know, she's a great business partner. But as far as customizing, you know, I'm on a ship and nobody's getting anything for months. For months, until I get back. And that's a part of the hard part about social media too is, you know, when you're at work and you're out to sea, you don't got no social media, man. You can't, you're not painting, you're not customizing. So, you know, trying to stay relevant in the art space can be kind of difficult when you're not able to kind of dedicate that time to it every day. Like, you know, somebody who does this full time would do. Like, right now, this is just a hustle that I'm trying to turn into full time when I hang the uniform up. So you gotta work with what you got, and you do the best that you can. You move from there. We adaptable. When you're in the military, you learn how to adapt.
We just gotta do it.
It is what it is. And, you do what you can. You try not to, dwell on what you can't do. It's like I get to it. And you just, if you upfront, like, hey, I'm doing this right now. I can't get to it right now. Or even if you got other artists, like maybe reach out to them. Or if you're patient enough, like I got you, but you have to wait till I get back from doing this. And most of the time, people can be understanding. People understand. Upfront with them. Like, oh, don't worry about it. Like, no rush. Like, I got it. Just let me know when you're available, and we'll get it going. Yeah, so communication's key. Tell us that all the time. So what are your goals? Where you see yourself in the next 5 or 10 years? My biggest goal right now is taking this to the next level. But one of my dream things would be able to be, now that I've done a lot of bands, is collaborating with bands. Bands, they work with a lot of artists, to make like a signature shoe or, like a special edition. So just, trying to perfect my craft and learning different techniques and quicker ways of doing things, like, if you will, so that I can get to the ultimate goal of, collaborating with bigger brands, with my art. I get you. That's a big change from you saying, like, I don't never want to do this again, till like, hey, I'm trying to collaborate, get it done. Yeah. And I actually came by way of my cousin. I was telling him, I was like, bro, I hate painting vans, man. I'm like, it takes longer. Leather dries quicker. When you're working with a fabric, it's a longer dry time. So it makes for painting that shoe a longer process. Something that may take me a day to do on a pair of Air Force Ones might take me 3 days to do on a pair of Vans. And he was like, hey, man, ride with it. You never know that could be like your biggest blessing. And as I painted more Vans and constantly going into the van store and, having an account with them and everything, you see the different designs and stuff they come out with. And it's like, that is possible that you can collaborate with different brands, be it a Reebok or, even a Nike or a Jordan brand or something like that. And, a lot of these brands are looking for, young artists and stuff like that to create and collaborate and stuff like that. So I guess that's my 5 to 10 year goal, is to collaborate with one of these big name brands and get, like my own, like, signature collab with one of these brands. That's awesome. So what resources are you reading or watching to help grow your business? Man, YouTube is probably one of my favorite ones. And I go to Barnes and Nobles all the time, getting different like drawing technique books and stuff like that. I run through notebooks all the time, doodling and trying to draw, and watching different customizers like Serato, Chad Can Color, and even Marco are some of my biggest. Like, I love watching them and trying to like learn like their techniques and different things that they do and how they market themselves, and even do like YouTube and stuff like that to try to create those algorithms to bring people like to your business. But as far as like reading, Think and Grow Rich is one of my favorite books. Even like How to Win Friends and Influence People. Like marketing is like the biggest tool to learn how to communicate with people and put yourself out there and stuff like that. And 50 Cent's book is one of the newer ones that I'm reading right now. Like, I didn't know he had a book. Yeah, man, he has a book. What's the name of it? I gotta I'll check it out. Yeah, you gotta check that out. It's actually a good book. Just trying to like, I don't know none of these people personally, so trying to like in different ways pick the brains of people who I look up to and like have millions and arts and doing these things, like trying to learn from their mistakes and things that work well for them. Like you can learn a lot from the mistakes that people made, and if it's in a book, way easier way to do it than just to read it. It's better than making it yourself. Exactly. Yeah. And those are some of the things that I do. Like Rich Dad Poor Dad is one of my favorite books. I've read that like a million times, and you don't think about it when as a customizer, but financial availability is like a big thing. Like paints and stuff, it costs money. Like having to go out shipping, they'll tape, all those things, you know, is little expenses and stuff. And you got to have those things. You got to have your finances and stuff like in check to be able to go out and purchase those things. Because it's one thing, you know, to just get paid for a shoe, but not all of that is profit. You got to put that back into the business to replenish your stock and stuff like that, to make sure that you're not, you know, running out of your stock. Like paints have a shelf life and all that. So just trying to read different books, you know, on business and financials and even just self-help books to maintain just a level of sameness. It's not a word, but you know, I get you know, from going crazy because you're doing so many things. You know, you're in the military, you're trying to run this business, you got a family and stuff like that. And sometimes you just need like a little bit of self-help too, just to kind of keep you grounded and to keep going. Because, you know, sometimes finding motivation is hard.
Yeah, totally agree. Like, what would you like to say to people who's trying to start their own business?
I would say trust in yourself. There is a market for everything. Like if you can think of it, man, there's a market for it. Like no matter like how outrageous you may think it is, and believe in yourself. I think a lot of times, especially in our community, you know, like we don't. I would say that we're not taught to be like business owners. Really, it's like go to school, go to college, get a degree so you can get a good job.
Good job, yeah.
You know? And we're more than capable, in my opinion, than running our own business. So having the belief in yourself and that grind, you know, like it's gonna be slow days and it's not just gonna take off like this. Like don't let the social media perception of what you think is happening be your reality. It's a slow grind. And trust in yourself and believe in yourself and perfect your craft and keep going. And you know, the 80-20 rule, give 80% of what you got to you and 20% to everything else. Like even when it comes to the Navy, like I give 100%, you know, to the Navy, but technically it's not 100% because I can't put, you know, you can't even put the military, you know, above, you know, everything that you got going on. Right. Also, like you grind at work so you can put everything that you have, you know, like into your business and stuff like that. So, you know, don't outwork yourself working for somebody else. Have the ability to do something, you know, for yourself and trust in that, and you know, it'll happen.
Yeah, I totally agree with you when you say like there's a market for everything. Because when I think of toothpicks and stuff like that, like somebody sold little pieces of wood or thumbtacks, or like these guys making millions.
I use toothpicks when I paint, bro. I got toothpicks right here. I use these all the time.
Yeah, right. So like hey,
market for everything. You'd be surprised like what you can make money off of, you know, and it's just having, I think a lot of times we get comfortable and complacent with just waking up every day and having a 9-to-5. We have all these dreams, but fear takes over. Yeah. You know, it's like, well, what if I fail? Yeah. It's like, you're going to.
Yeah, you will. I do it all.
I've messed up more shoes than I've ever, you know, gotten right. Like just the other day I started painting and I totally forgot to mask off some stuff. I had to go buy the shoes again. You know, it's complete waste of money. Like you're gonna mess up. You're gonna fail. But if this is what you want to do, like put your all into it. And that's why I say trust in yourself. Like it'll come. You're gonna make mistakes, but you know, learn from those mistakes. Yeah. Write them down and try to do it better. But you know, we gotta believe in ourselves and trust that we can do it. And you know, formulate relationships. You never know like what you can learn from somebody else. Like don't be so, you know, into your own things that you can't learn from somebody. Like you don't know everything. You can think that you're the best at what you do, but there's somebody that's better than you. Yep. And you know, humble yourself and learn from the mistakes and the successes of others so that you can do the things that you want to do. But really just trusting in ourselves, man. We
got you. So if there's anything you want to say, you can go ahead and say it. Like anything you want to say to anybody or just in general.
I mean, that was probably the biggest thing, man. For anybody that's trying to start a business, trust in yourself. Like take the time out, you know, learn about what it is that you want to do, the market that you're in, read business books, you know, like watch YouTube. You'd be surprised at things that you can learn from YouTube. I done learned so many techniques from just watching different airbrushers, you know, on YouTube or on Instagram. and stuff like that. And believe in yourself, man. Nobody's gonna believe in you how you believe in you. So as long as you know that you can do this, trust me, you're gonna have more people that's against you than you're gonna have with you. And lean on those people that are with you to keep that drive, going forward. And if you want some t-shirts or some Vans or Air Force One days, you want them customized, go ahead and go over to my Instagram at King Carter Customs. Instagram/King Carter Customs.
Got you. I was about to ask that. Like, if people try and reach you, where do they go? And they say King Carter Customs.
Go straight to the Instagram, man. Instagram.com/King Carter Customs. And my price is usually for a men's shoe starts off at 160 and it goes up depending on what the complexity of the design is. Kids shoes are a little cheaper. I start those off at about 90 and it goes up depending on what the designs are. Obviously, if it's something simple as just color blocking and stuff like that, it's easy work. If you want, characters and different things like that, the price goes up. It's, more materials, more paints and stuff. You gotta use more time.
Yep. So that's all I got for you, brother. I appreciate you for coming on, man. Thanks.
Man, I appreciate you having me, man. Like I listen to the podcast too. I was listening to one of the girls that First Class Petty Officer that on, her own beauty line. Yeah. It's amazing the amount of us that are out here serving the military and got our little side hustle. Side hustle going. Once we hang up these boots, we trying to move on to the next best thing. The grind can't stop, and that's the dope thing about the military. You get that work ethic as soon as you go there, and if you keep with it, you can do whatever you want to.
Do whatever. I appreciate. So again, this episode of Off Duty Grind, we had Jayden Newton, all right, Chief in the U.S. Navy, owner of King Carter Customs, where he creates customized shoes and apparel for people of all ages. So again, if you want to check him out, go to IG King Carter Customs. All right, then.
I appreciate you having me on, man.
All right. Stand by.
All right, brother.